The Jazz take on the Sixers, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Utah's -3, totals 216. Despite another real tough day on BrockPage.com yesterday, we are still hitting at 70% in our last 20 NBA tier package picks on that very same webpage. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on that website at BrockPage.com. We're also 3-0 in our last 3 extra daily picks on that very same website. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We currently have over 825 members who are signed up and active on that safe and secure webpage. And once again, if you want to see which one of my free YouTube picks on this channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way you can do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at BrockPage.com. Now, the Jazz are on a 5-game winning streak, 8-2 straight up in their last 10. Utah is also winning 73% of their road games. They currently lead the NBA in defensive rebounding away from home. The Jazz are currently holding their opponents to just 103 points a game when traveling, top 3 in defending the 3-ball in that same category. Now, scoring-wise, Donovan Mitchell is averaging over 24.5 points a game, along with 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Meanwhile, Bojan Bogdanovic is drilling nearly 42% of his three-pointers, 17 points a game and 4 boards for Bogey. The Jazz currently lead the entire NBA in offensive field goal percentage. They're also in the top 3 in shooting the 3-ball. They're taking on a Sixers team here today who failed to cover the point spread in they failed to cover the point spread in their last 2 straight. They also went 2-5 against the number in their last 7. The Sixers have done a real poor job of rebounding the basketball. They're currently in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding. And they're actually dead last in the NBA in defensive rebounding at home. And speaking of home court, the Sixers have successfully covered the point spread in only 30% of their contests at the Wells Fargo Center. Now, injury-wise, Riller is still out for the Sixers. Meanwhile, Azubuike is still out for Utah. Whiteside is questionable. Now, total-wise, Utah is still 6-5 to the under on the road, despite all their recent overs. The Jazz have also gone 60% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Philadelphia. Now, the Sixers are 6-4 to the under at the Wells Fargo Center this season themselves. Philly's also 64% to the under for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward Utah, -3, under 216. Next ball game, Lakers, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. The Lakers are -4, totals 223. But despite being favored on the road here, the Lakers really have done a poor job covering the point spread lately. They're just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9. And they also find themselves covering just 36% of their ball games for the entire season. The Lakers have played pretty bad defensively this season. They're currently in the bottom 3 in the association in points allowed per contest. Now, LA is also in the bottom 5 in defensive rebounding as well. Now, offensively, on the other end of the court, LA struggled there in certain spots as well. They're shooting just 32% from beyond the arc on the road. They're taking on a Memphis squad who won 5 out of their last 6 themselves. And they also successfully covered the number 5 times during that stretch. The Grizzlies also have a winning home record, and they're covering the point spread in 60% of their ball games for the entire season. Memphis is one of the better rebounding teams in the association. They're currently in the top 3 in offensive rebounding, top 5 in home defensive rebounding as well. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, Dillon Brooks is dropping 17 a night, 3 rebounds, couple assists for Brooks. Meanwhile, Jaren Jackson is scoring over 16 points a game himself, along with 5 boards. The Grizzlies are scoring 116 points a game at the FedEx Forum. They're also making 48% of their field goals there. Now, injury-wise, Anderson, Clark, Merrill, and Williams are all questionable for the Grizzlies. Meanwhile, for the Lakers, LeBron and AD are questionable for them. When it comes to the total on this one, Memphis is 60% to the over in their last 10 outings, 9-5 to the over on their home court. Meanwhile, the Lakers went 6-3 to the over in their last 9 themselves, 60% to the over for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward Memphis +4 over 223. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Nuggets versus the Spurs, 8:30 Eastern tip-off. San Antonio is -2, totals 214.5. Now, the Spurs have won 4 out of their last 6 ball games, 6-2 against the spread in their last 8. The Spurs have done a real nice job offensively at home. They're currently in the top 5 in home scoring, and they're making nearly 49% of their field goals at the AT&T Center. DeJounte Murray scoring over 18.5 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists for the guard. Meanwhile, Keldon Johnson's knocking down 41% of his three-pointers. And speaking of three balls, the Spurs are in the top 10 in the NBA in shooting the three ball at home. They're taking on a Nuggets team who lost 7 out of their last 10 themselves. They successfully covered the point spread in just 30% of those contests. The Nuggets have also struggled on the road this season. They've gotten the W in only 5 of 13 road games. And they covered the number in only 38% of those very contests. The Nuggets are scoring only 104 points a game, and they find themselves dead last in the NBA in offensive rebounding. Now, defensively, the Nuggets are letting their opponents connect on 48% of their field goals against them when they travel. When it comes to the injury report, Murray and Rivers are both still out indefinitely. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, Vassell is doubtful, Johnson is questionable. When it comes to the number in this one, the Spurs are 10-1 to the over at the AT&T Center. Denver's 8-5 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean towards San Antonio -2 over 214.5. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are hitting at 70% our last 20 NBA tier package picks. I like Utah -3 under 216. Memphis +4 over 223. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are also 3-0 in our last 3 extra daily picks on brockpage.com. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. I'm going to lean towards San Antonio -2 over 214.5. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And that's going to go to Tyler Dorso, who said yesterday, "I appreciate the hard work you put in." All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. If you guys do end up getting a membership here today on that website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on brockpage.com, you're going to get access to those picks all the way through the end of December. I tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And if you want to get access to every single pick that I give out on that website, then you're going to want to sign up for my board member tier package picks. And just another reminder, guys, if you sign up for a board member tier package pick here today, you're going to get access to that content all the way through the end of December as well. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.